Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name is Lumin and today we're having a look at Mad World, Age of Darkness. Mad World stays true to the classic MMORPGs but with unique art and grotesqueness. Fight alongside your friends to take down formidable enemies, or fight against your friends to test your skills in a world full of fear, despair, and madness. This is Mad World, a desperate, hardcore MMORPG with an open world setting. That's the blurb. That's what it says on the website. I don't know much about this. I think this might have been a browser game that was ported over and released on Steam as a standalone client. I'm not sure. I do know it comes from the East, and the voices and stuff in the game are still Japanese, even though the whole game is English. The UI and quests and text and everything like that. But what I'm trying to say is I don't know much about this game. I don't know if it's a remake. I don't know if it's something new. I get the feeling I saw a bunch of posts from way long ago talking about it. So it might be a remake. It might be something that they just polished up for the here and now. But it's a recent release and I thought let's have a look at it because the art style actually looked kind of fantastic. I really like it. And hey, it's a quick one to check out, so let's do it. If you'd like to read more about Mad World, you can find some links below. Hopefully they'll be the right ones. And as always, you can find some timestamps, although there won't be that many because I don't think this is going to be a super long video. I usually ask this at the end, but I'm going to ask at the start now. If anyone knows anything about this, please, hey, leave a comment. Share it so that if anyone wants to read about it, they can just check the comment section and they can be enlightened. It's not looking good on Steam right now, with mostly negative reviews, so yeah. Anyway, let's jump in before we get too distracted by talking about that. We're going to start by jumping into the female characters. We'll look at all the cosmetic options available, how we can customize the character. There'll be some presets, there'll be the customization, and then we'll randomize. And then we'll do the same for male. That's the plan. Let's jump in. I will say again, I like this art style. I like the way they've split the customization up. I think it's kind of smart, and it's overall just nicely done. The art style, I don't know if it's just me, but it reminds me a whole lot of Darkest Dungeon, which is an absolutely fantastic thing, because that game's art style was awesome. So yeah, I like it. Presets, they give you these 5 samples to choose from here. These are just some ready to go serve-in suggestion characters. You will see that a whole lot of the character is static. Your body shape doesn't change. The silhouette, I would say, that's the right word, stays the same. You get to change quite a lot on the face. You get to change the skin color, but that's it. So those are the presets we have. I actually think it's kind of nice. And you know what I'm really digging about the style? Is that they're able to throw color at it and have it actually look good, because the color pops that much more in this grim and dark, and I guess they would call it grotesque world. It's kind of nice. You know, these colors, they have an interesting color palette for the game. It's even more so interesting when we actually jump into the color choices for stuff like the hair, because it translates very differently than you'd expect. So we're just going to jump in with sample 1. That's the presets done. And let's look at what we can customize. You have some face options here. You will notice that it's changing, for the most part, the shape of the face. So the actual features like the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, those are staying the same. We changed those here. This is the face shape. So you can sort of chisel your character's face a little more. You can make it a little rounder. It would be cool if they had a similar set of options for the body. But, I mean, it's alright. It's fine just having the face stuff there. The face is more likely the more important thing. Not that I think you're very up close and personal with your character the whole time, but it's still nice to be able to at least have some control over that. And I mean, the body itself does look nice. But there are a decent amount here, and yeah, they're okay. They look okay. Let's go to the start. Eye shape. I guess this is... I want to say it's like the control you have over the character's ethnicity, but it's more than that. You set in the mood of the character's face. It's quite a lot, actually. It's also the eye color that's sort of thrown in here. You're choosing the eye color with the shape, which is once again fine. It's a decent way of doing things, especially considering they have so many options here. And the eyes look nice. I mean, they're very clear. The detail on them is obviously pretty great because you can see them quite nicely from this distance away. And you have a decent amount of options here with different amounts of makeup, with different, I want to say, levels of awareness. This one looks just crazy. And if I had to pick one, I'd most likely take this one. However, I feel like that's going to be distracting us from our true purpose here. I love this, though. I think this is amazing. You're playing a game called Mad World Age of Darkness. These eyes are perfect. Or these ones. Or these ones. Let's actually take those. They look good. Our next set of options is eyebrows. Not quite as many here, but they are still decent. Again, it all adds up to change the look and feel and the mood of the character. I said not quite as many, but there's actually a decent number here. I don't know if these match each other, if they, like, you know, suit the different eyes. So, like, this one fits well with these eyes or so on and so forth. But there are enough choices here. You'll find something that you like. Funny that she looks so concerned once you take the eyebrows off completely. Shame. Let's take the notched brows. I think they look kind of nice. Then we have the nose shape. And I mean, this is actually, I don't know for you guys, but for me it's a little surprising. There's a lot of detail on here. I would have liked it if we could zoom in even more. And what I would have enjoyed was if they took all of this and made you like your profile picture or like, you know, something with all these options. Because I feel like we're going to be customizing a whole lot of our character here. And then we're never going to see it up close and personal. I don't know if that's a fact, but I get that feeling. Because these are such minor little details. And again, it's a pity if stuff like this gets lost in the mass of detail that we're going to see. But there you go, those are the noses. Let's look at the mouth shape from the start. The mouth shape is once again a decent way to set the tone, set the mood. You can get some that are sort of smiley. You can get some that are more neutral. I wonder if they are... Yeah, they are, I wouldn't say they're really sad ones, but this one looks more concerned than the others. We'll take that. I think it suits the character nicely. Then, what you can actually do is you can random this section alone, which I actually really like, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to randomize after every section. So the full randomization on the left side over here, this will basically randomize the entire character, but on this side, you're randomizing just the face. And I think that's really nice. It's good to have a separate randomizations for each set of options. I think recently we saw Baldur's Gate doing something like that, which is kind of nice. It's just nice because then you can set this up the way you want it. Then you can go randomize different parts. In this game's case, there isn't really much else you can randomize because when you come to the skin color here, you can randomize this, but it's like, you know, it's just 3 sliders. So on the topic of skin, we have the color slider over here. And what this is doing is, and it's not like it's not based in reality, but it's giving you a set of skin tones that could be seen as more realistic. They're not giving you full RGB control here, so they're not giving you the full slew of colors from the entire selection available. They're giving you basically a curated set. I don't know if it's law friendly. I don't know if it's just what the artist thought would make sense, but you've got basically from this sort of pinky skin tone to a normal natural color all the way up to a green color, which I was a little confused by. But then you can also set the chroma, which is I think looking at it, I'd say it's the saturation, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what the chroma slider is. But if you do it like this, it's kind of weird because the color here, as you can see, changes. And that says it's supposed to be like orange, and then you move it over here and it's supposed to be red. I don't know, man. I don't know. But it's another slider, and then you have the brightness. And that's basically the best way to get a more natural light or dark skin tone. You put it in the middle over here. This one you can put basically anywhere. It doesn't really matter. This is more like a cooler tone. That's more like a lighter, a warmer tone. And then you got the brightness, which will give you a darker version of it, or a lighter version of it, you know? So there you go. And if I randomize, you will see a bunch of different skin tones. I like the skin tones. I think it's a decent selection, and the colors do look good. There's obviously a reason that we have these colors specifically for our character. I don't know what the reason is, but for the purposes of this video, I will go with a natural color. Then we'll jump onto the hair. Our final section. So, I like the hair in this game. I really like the hair. I like the colors that they use on their hair as well. So let's just pick one of these here. And actually, let's look at the styles first, and then we'll come back to the colors. That actually makes more sense. So there are a decent selection of styles here. They had a competent artist on this. I feel like they did a good job converting these specific hairstyles into this art style. It probably wasn't all that easy. You know, these are somewhat intricate hairstyles that they have, and they have a whole lot of really busy styles. And, yeah, man, different styles. Styles that are a little out there. Styles that are a little crazy. And, you know, it's funny that you've got this very simplistic looking game with this, I guess you could say, simplistic art style, and what you get in from it feels so much more than what you get from other games that have been coming out recently. It's like, yeah, there's not a lot of hairstyles, but the amount of detail in each of them is actually very impressive. You know, I recently did Pal Worlds and Enshrouded, okay? And while both of them had really nice hair types, and both of them had nice styles, and both of them had decent, like, fidelity on the hair, the texture work and all that stuff, I feel like both of them still played it pretty safe with the hairstyles. And this, they sort of let loose with it. They got a bunch of really crazy styles here, really fun styles, interesting styles. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. And I would easily be able to find one here that I like myself. So let's take this one, and let's look at the colors. I probably shouldn't be saying so much positive stuff about this, because I'm going to guess that like a bunch of people are going to come here and like hate on the game. I'm sorry, man. If you guys don't like the game, I'm sorry that I'm being positive about it. I'm a gamer, and I love the character creation systems that I look at. Oftentimes, I find things. I look for things that I like. This is one of those cases. I like the art style. I like that they were able to translate these interesting styles into this, you know? It's kind of cool. So the colors here, this is what I was talking about. Another thing that I really like about this system, and I'd rather point out the things that I do like than the things I don't like. It's good to criticize, but like, you need to have a good reason for it. I'm looking at the characters here, not the whole game. So I really like the way the colors translate. You know, this is full RGB. You've got control over everything, right? This makes me think that this is a saturation slider. But anyway, you have the brightest of blues, the brightest of reds, and like the most vibrant of greens. But this color and the color that I'm choosing over here on this, it's not the same as this. The color that you get out, the color that pops out after the calculations have been done, is different. And it's interesting. It's a nice color. Yeah, it makes it a little more difficult to like select the color you actually want, to find the color you actually want. But no matter how much you pull these bars around here or the sliders or whatever, you're not going to get this color. But I think that actually plays in the game's favor in this case, because these are some really cool colors. I don't know what you'd call them. I think it's off pastel. It's not pastel, but it's just off of that. It's like a different version of pastel. There is probably a name. If anyone's artsy enough in chat that could tell me what this is, I'd love to hear it. I don't know if it's like maybe watercolor or like what it is, but I like these colors. I don't know why. They make me happy for some reason. Like, I think of all of them, the red is probably the least impressive. It's like the red really doesn't translate all that well. That's red, but it looks more like a brown. The blues look really nice, the greens look really nice, and the yellow is kind of cool. But overall, yeah, I really like what they've done here. But again, you can do this. So we can go for like the blue. You can pull the chroma slider down, which I think is the saturation. And then you can pull the brightness down to make it darker. And that's, yeah, that's nice. And you can once again random here. Sort of random till you find something you like. We made a beautiful character here. Reminds me of Helena Bohem Carter. Jeez, you can probably do that. It's like the art style is also a little bit along those lines, you know. It's. I'm not gonna say it's like Nightmare Before Christmas or Sweeney Todd, but like it has that feel, that vibe to it. Now, that's actually the end of the customization options available. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna randomize the whole thing, the package. Let's do it. There's going to be some pretty cool options here, like some pretty cool styles that you can see. I like it. You know, you get these ones that are slightly more monotone in color, some slightly more boring ones, but then you get the slightly more vibrant ones. Then you get ones that look like actual orcs. It's cool. Check it out. Yeah. It's cool. So there you go. That's female customization in Mad World Age of Darkness, and I like it. I, I like the way the characters look. Again, I have nothing to say about the game itself or how it plays or any of that stuff. I just like the way the characters look. I think it's kind of cool. There we go. I'm feeling right at home once again. Now we're going to jump back and we're going to make a male character. Let us do it. Female was a hoot. Male should hopefully be interesting as well. You can immediately see that male and female share a few things, but they have separate hairstyles. And I don't know if male has something like a beard. We will see in a moment. I doubt it, seeing that I don't... Although that might be stubble over there. I don't see anything yet. But we're going to start by looking at the presets. Then we'll go through all the options. And at the end of it, we can talk a little bit about how they compare to one another. But let's peek. These are the samples that they give you. Is it a good showcase? I don't know. Time will tell. I really like this hairstyle. But this is one of those situations where I think to myself, like, okay... Now tell me, run me through why this is a male-only style. I don't know. I don't know. The artist must have chosen. Anyway, those are the presets. I kind of like them. We'll start with this guy over here. Our first option is our face. Now, I think with the face, you are both choosing the shape of the head, but it seems like you're also getting stuff like, yeah, facial hair with it. So there's like some stubble attached to it over there. Now, I don't know if that'll maybe change with your hair color. We'll see when we get there. But you get some slightly more rugged. This one's like literally lumpy and bumpy. I don't know. But slightly more rugged looking ones, slightly more chiseled ones, slightly rounder ones. There's a decent selection here. Then, eyes. And I like this, by the way. I like when they give you a face shape separate from the other options. The eyes, man, that's perfect. God, that's full on depresso. That's like, I've seen some shit right there. Wow, the male eyes are way more grim than the female ones. The female ones were like happy and full of life and vibrant, and they had makeup on and stuff. And these guys, my God, they're all dead inside. Poor guys, what have they been through? Oh, the crazy eyes are here too. I love it. These are my favorite eyes. These ones were on female as well. So both these last two were on female. Okay, we'll take those ones because they're fantastic. Eyebrows. There's a decent selection of eyebrows over here. Once again, it just allows you to sort of shift the focus of your character's mood a little bit. You can make your character look more serious. You can make them look a little angrier. Or you can make them look super concerned by taking the eyebrows off completely. Not so much. No, the female face actually looked more concerned. Let's put the darker brows on. I like them. There you go. And then the nose. The nose is probably, of all the options, the least impactful. I would say. Yeah, we're changing it, but there's not much actually changing. Like, I could pick any of these and be happy. You know? Mouth. Okay. Got a bit of a grin there. And a slightly more pouty face. Yeah, it's decent. That's decent. Now, when you've finished with that section, you can actually random just the section that you went through. So we're going to randomize just face now. And we're going to have a look at what we can get. I don't know, man. I'm trying to decide how I feel about that. It's like that Giga Chad meme, you know? It's like a really weird face. It's super lumpy. Is it just me that thinks that? I don't know. Where the faces are concerned, I kind of like the female ones a little bit more. I get the feeling I'm going to like the hairstyles more on male, but I don't think I like the faces more on male. Okay, let's take that one. It's a good starting point. Then we're going to move on to the next section, the skin colors. Now, skin color, this is the color slider, and they're giving you a curated pick. It's like you've got a... I don't know what to call it, but like a warmer tone on this side, and then you got like more of a swampy tone on that side. I don't know. Then this is also, it's like, this is the color slider, okay, where you've got like redder tones on the on that side. Then you got the brown, which is the skin color in the middle, and then you got the green on that side. But then you've got the chroma slider, which seems to be saturation, where you add more color or take the color away. But it's also sort of like when you're on this one, it adds more color, takes it away. But when you're in the middle here, it makes it warmer and colder, you know? So I don't know. Maybe that is actually what chroma is. But you get to mix and match this a little bit. And then you got the brightness over here, which will allow you to pick a darker skin tone or a lighter skin tone. Overall, I do feel like there's enough options here to get a decent skin color, even though the options are a little weird. It's cool. Then you can randomize this as well. I like it. Now, for the purposes of the video, we'll just go with everything sort of in the middle. That's good enough. And we'll jump onto hair. Now, let's go to the start and let's look what male has that female doesn't. There will be some crossovers here, I'm almost certain. But there are definitely different styles. I like it. I hope there's as many. Now, we did see already that there are no beards. Oh, that's pretty sick. Okay, they should have front-loaded this one. I like this. That's a good male style. It would have been a good female style, too. This is one of those situations where I just think to myself, these could really have been on both male and female. It's like you could have doubled the amount of hairstyles on both of them. Why give males only this? You know, there's no reason a lady can't just put that hair on them. It's like, what the hell, man? Just let them have the hair. Anyway, let's take this one over here. Let's look at the colors. Full RGB color selection, but the color translates differently. I actually really like it, the way this engine or these characters display the color. So you basically have the full RGB spectrum to choose from here, but like what you see is not what you get. So if I go for the red over here, I'm getting sort of a browny color with some red tones. The blue translates quite well, where if you take blue and you pull the chroma up to max, it does look kind of blue. Obviously the chroma once again drains the color out, but I actually really like the way the color translates. I don't know, I mentioned on the female side, I don't know if it's like a pastel-y style or watercolor style, or I don't know what this is called, but whatever it does with the color, it appeals to me. I think it looks kind of nice and it suits the style. I also like the fact that they give you some color in this dark and depressing world, so you can actually do something fun and interesting with your character, even if the world is falling apart around you. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Ever the optimistic, I suppose. Let's go for the blue color here. There we go. And then let's just show you what that does. That drains the color. Again, I think it's the saturation. I'm not sure. And then we have the brightness, which can just allow you to do a darker style if you want to. So there's like a black. Well, the closest thing you'll get to black. And then here you have like the darker versions of all these colors. It's cool. Let's take the black one. There you go. Then let's randomize. It's our last randomization before we're done. Now we're just randomizing the hair. So there's a lot of cool options here, and you can actually make some cool stuff. Now that I've looked at all the hair, I do think the females actually have better hair. I don't know, man. I think the female customization overall is just a little more impressive. But this is also okay. It's nice. Now when you're done with this, this is the last step we're going to take. We're going to randomize the whole package. We'll see what we get. Yeah. These guys, they look like ghouls or zombies. The females, a little less so. But yeah, still kind of decrepit looking, you know? kind of gnarly mostly. They're a little rough around the edges, these guys. But there you go. That is that. A quick look at the male customization in Mad World. When you are done here, you can press next, then you put your name in, and then you're done. Then you play in the game. That brings us to the outro. Hey, guys. I actually really like what I saw here. I don't know if that's bad. Is that bad? Is someone going to shout at me? Don't shout at me, please. Don't shout at me. I enjoyed this. I think the characters look cool. Like I said, it reminds me of Darkest Dungeon, maybe a little bit of Don't Starve. The style that they have, this sort of hand-drawn, depressing art style that they have here, the colors that they present to us, and even the options. Yeah, there's not a lot available. Okay, so my criticism would be that they could have some more options. And I mean, sure, I could have endless criticisms about the game itself, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about character creation and customization. I kind of like it. I know that there's a cash shop in this game because it's a free-to-play game, but I don't know if there's a lot of character enhancements there, brighter colors there, cooler looking stuff there. I'm not going to look. I don't care. I don't care. I care about the starter experience, the authentic, you jumping into the game for the first time experience, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed by it. I like what they've got here, so, hey, if you guys agree, leave a comment. If you disagree, leave a comment and tell me why you disagree. I like the art style, I like the colors, and I think that the options are decent enough to make a suitably depressing character, or suitably happy-looking character, a ray of sunshine in this dark and dreary world. So there you go. That was a quick look at Mad World, Age of Darkness. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't already, you can subscribe to the channel. You can find my links below, my coffee page. You can throw money at me there, or you can come watch me on Twitch. And if you haven't already, give this one a like. Yeah, share it and do all that other good stuff, because I love it when you do. Most importantly, happy creating those characters in Mad World, dudes. Happy that.